don't get advice from the generation before us. I don't think their relationship advice is worth even a grain of salt.
No lip liner. That's also a sign of madness.
There's something wrong with that guy. Hey, I'm Mel and welcome to OP Said, where we read the most wildest Reddit and submitted stories. Welcome back, I'm May, and here's to more crazy dilemmas.
And I'm Marie.
Okay, cool. Let's get into it. Okay, this one is from I'm at an Arsehole. I'm at an Arsehole for cancelling my daughter's sweet 16 after she made a joke that I wasn't her real mum in front of my ex and his new wife. So I, 39 female, have a daughter, 15 female, from a previous marriage. Her dad and I split when she was 5 years old after he cheated on me with his now wife. Messy, yeah, but I've always kept it civil for my daughter's sake. I've been the main parent, doctor visits, school staff, everything. Her dad sees her about once a month, and when he does, it's all Disneyland dad vibes. No rules, just vibes and gifts. Anyway, I was planning a huge sweet 16 for her, like thousands of dollars, caterer, DJ, venue, the whole thing. She's been hyped for months. Then last weekend, we were at her dad's house for a brunch that his wife threw. I only went because my daughter asked me to. At some point, someone joked about how much she looks like her dad, and she said, yeah, guess I got lucky, especially since she's not even my real mum, and pointed to me. Everyone laughed. Her dad laughed. His wife laughed. Even her grandparents laughed. I just sat there like, what? I quietly told her we'll talk later, and we did. I asked her what the hell that was about. She said it was just a joke and that it was funny and that I needed to lighten up. I told her, cool. Then I guess you don't need me to throw a party for you, since I'm not really your mum anyway. She thought I was bluffing. I wasn't. I cancelled everything. No venue, no dress, no photographer. I told her that she can ask her real parents for a party. Now everyone's saying I went too far. Her dad's calling me bitter. His wife had the nerve to DM me and say I'm emotionally punishing my child. Even my sister thinks I should have just grounded her or something instead. But I'm sorry, you humiliate me in front of people who disrespected me for years and then act like I'm the one in the wrong. Nah, am I an arsehole for cancelling her party over what she claims was just a joke? Or did she finally cross the line?
Finally, this is the only thing that we have.
I know. I don't get that one. Ending. Find another joke that's funny, because that joke wasn't. And it was at my expense, and I do everything. I'm always the bad guy. I'm the bad cop. I'm the one that has to deal with everything. And your dad just rolls in like sunshine once a month. No, sorry. No, thanks. And also, this teaches actions and consequences. Find another joke as well. Find one that's funny. What do you think, Marie? Your mum?
I don't know about this one, you know. You guys know how. Do you know what? I don't know. I think I'll be so hurt more than anything. I think I'll be really, really hurt. I don't know if I will go and cancel the party. That sounds like something that her dad would do to defend me. But I don't know if I would go through with cancelling the party, but I would be really hurt. I might even start crying there and then, because that is so hurtful. Especially when you know what you've done, like for your child, what you sacrificed. If my child ever ran a joke like that, I don't know if she will feel like she can come back from that with me, even though I'll be fine after a while, but it would really, really hurt. So I understand why she did what she did. I don't know if I would do the same, but I do understand why she cancelled anything, because if you're big and bad, innit, don't need a party from me. Go tell your real parents to do it. I get it. I actually understand, but I don't know if it's something I would personally do.
That joke doesn't even make sense to me, at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually her birth mother.
Yeah.
That's the person, that's her primary carer as well. Like, I don't...
It just sounds like she's a bit immature, or like maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know. The story doesn't even make sense to me, personally.
All. Yeah, I don't get it. I can see both parties. So in terms of the daughter and I guess the rest of the family thinking that she overreacted.
Yeah.
However, I can understand why the mum's like, fuck it. If I'm not your real mum, why am I doing all of this? Why am I stretching myself, paying thousands of dollars, etc.? Like, why? For a child that's ingrate, basically.
Yeah.
I get it. So it's a hard one. And especially because I'm not a parent, I, for once, have no real opinion.
Scrap that, man.
I don't know.
That part is getting revoked. Sorry, I just...
Thank you.
Nah, man.
Thank you.
If Tori ever did me that day, I'm like, is it?
publicly.
Nah, that part is getting yanked.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I had to think about it, man. To put myself there.
Okay, we have a top comment. I'm not quite understanding a joke. Was she meaning to say her stepmom is her real mom? Or was a joke that you're just some random woman raising her? This situation is very odd. Coming from divorced parents myself, my mom would never go to a brunch my dad had, nor would she be invited. This whole situation is weird.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing there?
Yeah,
That they can even make you a joke.
I guess the brunch was maybe for the daughter's birthday.
So?
Maybe that's
I don't
why
need to be
she's
there.
Maybe they're trying to do
I think
co-parenting.
we're digressing, if I'm being honest. Like, you're
Yeah.
trying to figure stuff out that's not important.
I think we're all trying to figure it out. I'll be honest with you.
know.
The joke doesn't make sense. Why the mom was there in the first place doesn't make sense. Like, it's all strange. I totally understand why top comment is top comment. But yeah, I don't know. Because, yeah, I don't know, revoking a whole party seems a little bit mad. But at the same time, what she said is a little bit mad.
It's a lot
A
of it,
little
man.
bit.
It's mad. Sorry, it's mad. It's not a little bit. It is mad. And it's so ungrateful.
it's
do you know what? Do you know
disrespectful,
what?
man.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. It's ungrateful. But like I say this all the time, like, it's really unfair that the parent that stays gets the worst, like the worst of it, gets the worst stick, the worst end of the deal. Like, it's so unfair. Like, they'll be here saying, "Oh, I hate you, mum. I hate you, mum." Da 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 da. Meanwhile, the dad, once a month, but he's on a pedestal. That's really unfair. I think it's really sad.
Yeah.
Really, really sad.
I agree.
Drama aside, we know as much as 96% of you that watch our content don't actually subscribe. So if you could do us a quick favour and hit that subscribe button, it would help us so much more than you know. And we're also on socials at OPZ Podcast on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. So follow us there so that you can actually include all of your comments on our individual stories. Follow and subscribe.
So my story is from Pro Revenge. Phone calls for the previous owner who turned out to be my shitty manager. This is going to be a long one. This could also be an Am I the Arsehole sub. You guys decide. Names have been changed to keep anonymity. Mobile phones became common in my country around 2004. Just as I finished high school, my parents bought me my first phone, a second-hand Nokia. It was bulky and basic, but I promised myself that someday I'd buy a new phone with my own money. When college started, I had a 2-hour daily commute. In high school, I excelled academically and won several district-level awards. These awards were being distributed during my first year of college. One nationalized bank award finally gave me enough money for a new phone. I bought a Sony Ericsson K300. Hey, I remember that phone. I bought a Sony Ericsson K300i and a premium SIM card, not realizing it had been abandoned by its previous owner. By the third day, I started receiving calls for a guy named Bitsa from various financial institutions. It turned out the number previously belonged to him, and for 20 years, I've been getting these calls. Determined to keep my premium number, I began a routine of blocking wrong numbers. Back then, blocking was device specific, so each time I got a new phone, I had to start over, keeping a list of numbers to block. I got my first job after graduating in 2009. Around 2010, I was assigned to a new project with a notorious reputation for burning people out due to a nefarious project manager named Bits. I didn't know his full name for quite a while. He took pride in making our lives a living hell. Bits ruled with an iron fist. From the moment his team stepped into the office, they were met with a barrage of emails, messages, each more urgent than the last. Bits thrived on creating chaos, often changing project deadlines on a whim, demanding his team work late into the night and free weekends. Bits' presence loomed over every task. He insisted on micromanaging every detail, yet was quick to take credit for any successes, no matter how small. Failures, however, were met with his notorious tirades, publicly berating his team and assigning blame without hesitation. His unpredictable temper kept everyone on edge, afraid to make the slightest mistake. Meetings were another tool in his arsenal of torment. He scheduled them during lunch breaks and after hours, ensuring no one could escape his grasp. These meetings were often pointless, serving only to reinforce his dominance and disrupt any semblance of work-life balance his team might have had. His relentlessness streamed off emails continued around the clock, each carrying a thinly veiled perfection or dismissal. Under his reign, morale plummeted and burnout soared. Yet Bits remained oblivious, satisfied only by his complete and total control. I was quite ashamed when I learned that he was from the same area as I was and had gone to the same school, though years before me. In 2012, our company merged with a parent company. Almost nothing changed personnel-wise, but infrastructure-wise, we got MS Outlook, and I'm assuming that's Microsoft Outlook, and an organization view. That was when I learned about Bits from an organizational hierarchy perspective. His full name was an eye-opener. It was Bitsa. Now the name was common enough, but at the time, mobile numbers had an area-specific pattern, so I already knew that previous owner of my number was from the same area as me. Still, it could be someone else. I wanted to dig deeper. I talked to an old mentor who lived in the same area and had coached several high school students for the last 2 decades. He confirmed my suspicions. I won't go into details, but it was evident that Bitsa and Bits were the same person. I had been quite pissed with this unknown person named Bitsa for almost a decade by then, and Bits had been the bane of my and several others' existent for quite some time. This was where my revenge lies. First, I unblocked all the numbers in my phone. I was getting 5 to 6 calls daily on average, but after unblocking about 150 numbers, it increased to 15 to 18. My answering strategy changed drastically. Instead of saying wrong number, I politely explained that the owner had changed his number and provided his current number to update their database. This is where I could be the arsehole. I also volunteered his manager's number in case he tries something else. The fallout was epic. The people had been trying to find him for almost a decade. Banks had sold his debts to companies that harass people for a living to get their money back. It turned out he had been taking loans, everyone's names, his wife's, parents, uncles, aunts, and given everyone the same number. He was evading credit card debts and loans of upwards of 200k, equivalent in USD, but it's a lot of money where I'm from. Apparently, he had almost 20 cases filed against him and no one could find him. Probably why he thought he could walk on water. There are multiple versions of what happened at the office when his manager started to get calls about him. He was let go about 2 months later and I haven't heard from him since.
Amazing.
Love that. Yes.
Glory.
Oh, I
10
love
years.
that.
You're good. I would have dashed that number.
It's true. I don't know.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, I would definitely let that go. But I love that.
I love
a bit
revenge,
of
man.
revenge. I love it.
Top comment was, "This is glorious."
Literally.
Glorious.
I was going to say that was sensational.
Sensational, I tell ya.
That was everything.
That man is a tyrant. Tyrant.
Do you know what? I just
a little demon. Thank
I
God.
just love that not only did he lose his job, but all the credit companies, they
Yeah,
now
found
know.
him as well,
They
yeah.
found him.
What he was doing was evil.
and
Wicked
also-
work.
Wife.
Also, they
Wicked
thank
work.
you. Also, they exposed him. Like all of his
Yeah.
family now know he's taken out loans in everybody's names. The next story is a submission on our OP Said Reddit. My boyfriend lives in a biohazard. Okay, so I, female 27, have been dating T, male 32, for around 10-ish months. It didn't take me too long to realise that his apartment is absolutely vile. Now, I know he suffers and has suffered for a while from a lot of depression and anxiety, so I am really trying to be understanding and gentle, but I don't know what to do anymore. Please help a people pleaser figure out what to do, say, and or to change my name and number and move abroad.
Asking a lot.
Okay, this is going to be a long one because I want to paint you a picture. Walk with me. First thing you enter is obviously the hallway. Now, compared to the rest of the place, it's not so bad, except it's always a number of trash bags lying around by the door, causing the smell to hit you really fast as soon as you walk in. Then, the bathroom. The bathroom is all right compared to the rest of it, but I don't understand how it doesn't flood every time he showers because the drain is literally covered in hair and crap. The shower floor also has a lovely collection of empty shampoo bottles, etc. that has been around as long as I've been. The sink and the mirror is in the state you'd think, more covered in white and other unknown substances than Bonnie Blue at this point. His laundry bag is overflowing and instead of, I don't know, doing the laundry, he puts it in more IKEA bags next to it, causing very limited space. Moving on to the living room, he has been living in this apartment for a year and he still hasn't unpacked. I'm talking like at all. His clothes are all in IKEA bags scattered on his bedroom floor, and the living room is really just a sofa, a million guitars, and even more boxes. Not even exaggerating, his vacuum is broken. So he just sweeps the floors from time to time, but obviously it's not effective, and I honestly wear shoes inside because the floors gross me out so bad. I also can't get over how incredibly inconvenient it must be to live like this, with all of your stuff in boxes stacked on top of each other, mixed and not even labelled. Phew. Anyway, bedroom. Honestly, thankfully, amazingly, the bedroom is usually the most clean, which I highly appreciate for adult purposes. Apart from the IKEA bags with dirty and mixed, clean clothes, the only thing I can really complain about is his side of the bed. I don't know if it's a thing over there, but he's a heavy user of something he calls snus. SNUS. Google tells me the English variant is snuff tobacco.
Oh.
Yeah, he leaves those things in piles next to his side of the bed, like moist, wet, fresh out the mouth, straight on the bedside table, floor, or windowsill. But the kitchen, OMG, the kitchen. This is what is genuinely causing concern for some type of biohazard. Now, for as long as I've known him, his sink has been out of order, not draining properly. I've encouraged and also nagged for him to call the landlord because he literally can't do dishes because the sink will overflow. He says he's embarrassed by the state of it and it's keeping him from calling someone. I wish I could explain the absolute what in the Chernobyl is going on in that kitchen. For some bloody reason, even though he's aware of the sink, he never rinses his plates, etc. He doesn't even soak them in water, just piles it on the sink and lets it crust and mold. Actual mold with a lovely side of flies. Flies everywhere. It stinks. Genuinely reeks. And surely that must be some kind of bad for your health. I don't open the fridge anymore. The smell is disgusting and it's obvious the flies are in there as well. So any food coming from out of there is a no-go. The bottom of the sink is covered in this foul-smelling, mouldy, thick black substance that seems to really make the flies feel at home when the water is somewhat drained. Now, I've tried to help. Mental health is incredibly hard to deal with on your own when it has come to this. I get it. I have numerous times cleaned his place, brought my own vacuum over, gloves, spray, rags and everything. I have done the dishes more times than I can count, bringing everything to the bathroom sink so the kitchen won't flood, just to clear the space so he can call a fucking guy to fix his kitchen. It doesn't matter. There is always a new pile of dishes next time I'm around. I once got him motivated enough to clear out the sink completely. He took his big container, filled it with hot water and soap, and threw in every piece of cutlery, etc. in there to soak. I wish you could smell what is smelt, standing in the other fucking room, just by lifting dishes. Now he said it's not salvageable and that he will throw the dishes away. He stuffed it under a table, not visible, continued to clean the sink, and it was actually clean. The flies disappeared within 2-3 days. I've been on vacation for a week and just got back to find the kitchen in the same state again. I checked under the table, the soapy water from the dishes had evaporated, and the dishes were just lying there, kind of like I will be when we have sex in the future. What the actual fuck? We have talked about it so many times and I don't know what more I can do to help him besides just cleaning again and again and again. He's on the waiting list for a psychiatrist appointment, so he is trying to fix things, but I don't want to hang around his place anymore. It also makes me question his personal hygiene, though I've never smelled or felt anything bad on that front. He always looks clean and neat, so it was quite a shock to see his apartment. My friends say I should end it because I'm never going to move in with someone who's okay living like this.
Exactly.
Since he doesn't seem to change his habits even when helped. And their line of thinking is, if I'm not going to want to evolve this relationship, there's no point in being in it. I know it's cliche, but we literally don't have any other problems.
I love him.
He's amazing, and again, you would never be able to tell from just looking, hanging around with him. What the fuck do? I don't want to end it, but might have to if things don't get any better. And if I do end it, how do I break it to him?
You're
Hey.
dirty. Sorry, I can't be with you anymore. Bye.
No. 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 No.
Why not? It's only 10 months.
Yeah, but you still wouldn't talk to. You can't talk to people like that. You're dirty.
Or you're comfortable living in filth and I'm not. So I'm afraid our values don't align. Goodbye, sir. Have a nice life.
It's not going to be a sir if you've been together for 10 months. You will sit him down and you will say, I can't continue this relationship with the state of your house. You would say kind words. You say kind words and then you leave.
Yeah, but
say kind words and leave. Like honestly,
Marie's
just say
being
kind
very
words.
realistic. It's
Like
true.
say kind
it's
words
true.
and leave. Do you know how horrible it is to look at someone that you've clearly she's fallen in love and say you're dirty, sir? You wouldn't say that. You actually wouldn't say that. You would be concerned and be
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be in this.
No, I know. We know.
Yeah, no, but you need to. I remember there was an episode where you told me to find the words and make sure that my advice was relative to what they were asking me.
That's true. So
So
can I
imagine
continue?
you're
can
in
I
this.
But that's what I'm saying. Because I wouldn't be in this, if I did entertain this for 10 months, I'm sure that's exactly how I would respond.
And that's
fine.
fine.
Not that because that's not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
That's fine. I would say find kind words and tell him. I mean, I'm pleading with you to find kind words and dump him because this is not something that I want you to carry on with.
But her friend's
You
fine.
said in your title, it's a biohazard. I'm sorry. I know you feel sorry for him. I know he has depression. I know he has anxiety. I know he's on a list and all of that. But he needs to work on himself before he gets into a relationship. He needs to focus on his focus, which is his mental health, before he tries to get into a relationship. I think that people who are severely depressed or have any mental issues should really focus on getting to a better place before getting into a relationship if they can. And in this case, I don't think that's your load to carry, sweetheart. That just isn't, that is different if you were together and then he developed these issues. I don't think you should collect him whilst he's also got a very dirty house. He's got ashes next to his thingy. The bathroom's not good. You've actually been really kind in the way you've described the flat. It sounds horrible. And you can't move forward with this.
I say listen to your friend, honestly.
Friends.
If it's not long term, if you don't want to marry this guy, please move on.
I think she wants to have a future with him.
He's really, but your friends are right though. He's comfortable in dirt.
Yeah.
And because he's comfortable, regardless of whether you move into a new place and you're clean, he's going to carry that over because you said that a week away and he managed to get it back into the same state. That means that's his normal. That's him.
You see, I don't know. When it comes this depression thing,
that's him though. He's
I went into a wormhole of like people on TikTok.
Rabbit
hole of people that had depression, and they were talking about, look, this is me. If I'm in a depressive state and blah blah blah, it can last for months. I don't know what that's like, but I'm saying to you, I think you should get out. I'm not going to touch on the subject of him being depressed. I don't think this is what you want. It doesn't even sound like it's what you want.
In terms of how do you break up with him, you just say, it's over. I can't live like this. Like, I've thought about our future, and as much as I love you, you're a great guy, I can't live like this. And so he knows you do have love for him, but it's coming from a practical place and you can't overlook it. And
kind words.
And that's it. And then just walk. Like, honestly, don't give him too much time to try and defend or persuade you round, because you've gotten to the point where you now know it doesn't matter. It always goes back to the same state. It doesn't matter how much time away, it doesn't matter how much you clean, it doesn't matter how much you help him, how much he says he's going to do, how much he does. It always returns to the same state. So what you need is also, you need to be firm in walking away. Like, walk away. I'm sure it'd actually help him to just heal by himself as well. Exactly what Marie's saying.
Yep.
But be firm and do end it. And the sooner the better, because also I am so sure that your friends don't want to hear any more complaints about this guy's place from you.
But I don't think that's a reason to not be in a relationship, because you don't want your friends to hear about it.
I think there gets to a point where, like, even friends get bored of hearing the same shit.
Here is another submission from our Reddit, OP said pod. My mum is trying to convince me to go back to my ex who cheated on me. My mum is convinced that I should go back to my ex-partner who cheated on me, and she's not taking no for an answer. Let me start from the beginning. Brace yourselves, it's a bit of a long read. I met my ex-partner when I was in my final year of varsity. After graduating, I struggled to find a job, which is a common challenge many people face in South Africa. The unemployment rate is extremely high and it took me some time to secure a job. During this period, my ex was supportive and took care of me, which I appreciated. However, as I grew closer to God and gave my life to Christ, I started to notice red flags in our relationship that I had probably ignored or downplayed before. My spiritual awakening opened my eyes to things I hadn't seen before, and I started to see him in a different light. One thing that stood out to me was his spiritual life. He's a pastor, and people still refer to him as one. However, due to church hurt, he had stepped away from the church and his relationship with God. He was now living a worldly life, and it was clear he wasn't prioritizing his faith. When I told him about giving my life to Christ, he said he would be supportive, but every time I brought it up, he would get irritated and accuse me of forcing my faith on him. I eventually gave up, realizing that only God could change him. What's more, when I would visit his place, he would offer me alcohol, despite knowing I had quit drinking due to my faith. He wasn't respecting my spiritual boundaries. I also noticed other red flags. One thing that really turned me off was when I asked him about his previous relationship. He told me that he was in university at the time and his ex-girlfriend had an honours degree in economics. I asked him if being in a relationship with someone who had achieved such a high level of education didn't inspire him to finish his own degree, but he didn't seem to feel motivated to do so. Instead, he quit school to supposedly open a business, but he never actually did. It seemed like a lack of ambition to me. I couldn't understand why he wouldn't pursue his goals or take steps to achieve them. I also noticed that he had been stuck in the same position at his company for a long time, and he had expressed frustration about the lack of growth opportunities. But despite this, he didn't take initiative to change his situation or pursue other opportunities. I was like, what exactly was your hope? You knew you weren't growing in a company, and you even tried to talk to your boss about feeling undervalued. Why did you stay? It seemed that he was just going through the motions without a clear plan or direction. I was also concerned about his financial situation. He had accumulated a lot of debt, and each time he reapplied for a house loan, more debts would be discovered. It was concerning to see how he managed his finances. I didn't feel like we were compatible in terms of our financial values. Another red flag that caught my attention was his toxic family dynamics. Coming from a large family with 6 sisters and being the only boy, he was praised not only because he is a boy, but also because he brings the most money at home. His family operates like a hierarchy. Those who are more financially stable are treated like royalty. I was appalled to learn that if someone is unemployed, they're treated poorly, as well as their children. The classism and lack of empathy within his immediate family is so shocking to me. I couldn't wrap my head around how siblings, blood sisters, could treat each other like this. It became clear that this is not what I want in a partner. As I was going through this, God was telling me to leave him. He was telling me that I was idolizing this person, putting him over God, but I wasn't listening. I was still so caught up in the relationship that I wasn't being obedient to God. I knew that God was guiding me to end the relationship, but I was hesitant. The final straw was when I went through his phone and saw that he was flirting with multiple girls. I was hurt. I was also grateful to have found this out because it finally gave me the leverage I needed to leave the relationship without feeling guilty. During my unemployment, he had supported me financially, and I felt like I owed him. But now I realise that I had so many reasons to leave, and I was just blinded by guilt. I've learned that I don't need a solid reason to leave a relationship. It's enough when I no longer feel it or when our goals are no longer aligned. I see now that I deserve better, and I'm grateful for the experience. But he wouldn't leave me alone. He kept calling me, sending me messages, even after I blocked him. He even texted my mum and asked her to talk to me. My mum, who I've never been close to, is now trying to convince me to forgive him and go back to him. The first day she found out that I had blocked him and ended things, she came to my room and gave me a lecture on how I should forgive him and go back to him. She told me that everyone makes mistakes and that I should give him another chance. I was frustrated, but I tried to explain to her why I didn't want to go back. My mum's persistence has me gaping. She's sending me voice notes urging me to reconsider my decision to end the relationship. Her argument is that all men cheat, and if I don't take him back, I'll likely encounter more of the same in future relationships. She's also pointing out that at least my ex-partner isn't abusive, implying that I should be grateful for that and overlook his infidelity. What's more shocking is that she's warning me that if I leave him, I might end up with someone far worse, given the high rate of femicide in our country. I'm taken aback by her reasoning. I'm not looking for any advice. I know I should stand on my decision. I am just stunned at how my mum is acting.
The bar is so low. Your mum's view of relationships and what they should accept, that bar is all the way below the earth's crust. girl, you know what to do. And you sound like you've got a really good head on your shoulders. Don't let a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
And that's what your mum has. She has a scarcity mindset. Do you know what? Don't get advice from the generation before us. I don't think their relationship advice is worth even a grain of salt, if I'm being honest with you. But your mum does have a scarcity mindset, and that's why she's pushing you to go back and reconcile with an ex who has multiple red flags, by the way. You flagged so many, from the cheating to the lack of motivation to the hierarchy within his family. That family setup is not good. And you can see that. Don't listen to your mum. You're not even close like that as well. Like, why would I take advice from someone I'm not close to? Furthermore, why am I listening to somebody who came to give me unsolicited advice? I don't care what my relationship is to them. Ignore your mum, continue on the path that you're on, and forget about that guy.
That one.
Yeah, stand firm. You listed everything, honestly, and you even said you're not even looking for advice.
She's got this.
So, yeah, I would say you've got this. Ignore it. You know it's bad advice. So, ignore and continue as you're, as you are. Continue as you are. Literally, I ain't got anything else.
Okay, so mine is from a thread on Reddit. What are your funniest / bad date stories? So right after my divorce, I was feeling wild since I had always been a good girl. I signed up for Tinder, got some matches and started chatting. First guy to really catch my eye looked very cute in his profile pictures, and over text, he seemed interesting and good at holding a conversation. So we agreed to meet up. We set a time and a date, and the day of, I start heading out. I live about 45 minutes away from his town, which is bigger than mine. So on my way, I call to ask where I should meet him. He says his place because he doesn't own a car. We live in Texas. Most people here have a car of some kind. Small alarm bell here, but he had a hippie vibe, so I kind of brush it off. I asked what he wants to get to eat because I'm hungry. He already ate. Alarm bell number 2.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty irritated by this one. So I say I'm going to grab some food before I come over. I take my time at a taco joint. I've never gone to someone's home first, but I'm feeling crazy and I think I'll play it by ear and I feel nervous. I'll jet. Not like he can come after me with no car. I get there and wait in the car for him to come out and greet me. This gives me a sense of safety that I can see if he matches his profile before I even get out of my vehicle. So far, so good. Handshakes, short hug, nice to meet you. Okay, we go in and start chatting. At first, the convo is good, but he's definitely hogging it a little. I learn he is selling CBD stuff, and if I'm interested, he'll get me into it, but he's not overly pushy. So okay, we talk about a mutual love of filtered water and health food. Then it starts to get a bit weird, and he starts giving off some Rain Man vibes. Not Rain Man, Rain Man. He turns on the TV onto the golfing channel and just goes off. I appreciate a man with passion, but boy howdy, I do hate golf. I need some nicotine, so we go to the little patio and he then goes off on Jeeps, which he used to have but doesn't now because it's cheaper to Uber wherever he needs to go if it's not in biking distance. We go back in. Now for the truly chaotic weirdness. He starts telling me about his ex-girlfriend and about how they never had sex, about how much he liked her butt. Like seriously detailed stuff, but mentioning the never having sex part a lot. Time for me to go. I thank him for a lovely evening and then say bye, then jet to my car. I stop by a bar to drink with some friends because I needed one after that, and the texting begins. I'm trying to politely tell him it won't work, but he wants to talk about his ex-girlfriend.
Wow.
Then he sends me a picture of her naked ass. Yep, you read that right. He sent me a picture of his cute, red-headed ex-girlfriend's naked butt. I tell him it's inappropriate and he should not be sharing those pictures with anyone. So then he sends me a dick pic. Blocked.
Yeah. That's definitely what she should have done when he started hounding her. Wow. There's something wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
Read the room, literally.
Which room though? What room wants to send a picture of your ass? Ew. The top comment on this picture, comment on this thread is, I sometimes wonder if this was done on purpose. Like they want to see how far they can push it before you say enough. It's just too much. How come he even had an ex-girlfriend who stuck around long enough before jumping ship? It's unbelievable. It's mad, isn't it?
Didn't I say the
Yeah,
other
he
day?
sounds weird.
Didn't I say the other day that there's a lot of unhinged people walking around, and we just know some of them.
Let me tell you something, yeah. Where I work, there's a place up there full of them. And when they're out, my God, it's a sight for sore eyes.
You know what?
They are outside, they just be moving crazy. We lock the door and we just pray, because in the summer they just be popping in and saying mad stuff and pop back out.
I've seen it.
It's very crazy.
But I need them to have badges.
No,
you know?
or sachets.
Like pregnant people.
Something, honestly.
There's none. But I'll tell you something, and I told you that the other day, thin eyebrows, really bright pink blush, and a blue eyeshadow lets me know that something is amiss. That's with the women. The men haven't quite covered. No. Every time I see a blue eyeshadow on a black woman, I know something's amiss. And it's for some reason that color. It doesn't matter about race, you know. It could be, you could be Latina, you could be African, and they put one pink, no lip liner. That's also a sign of madness. Something is amiss. When there's no lip liner in sight,
oh my God,
you know something's going on. Yeah.
Do you know what? We should share this list.
Listen,
This list.
Do you know what?
People can add to it.
Qualifies.
People can add to it, and then we'll start looking out
Let's
for
create
it.
the list, and I think you'll see similarities. I just need one for the men, but the women,
It's true.
hey.
Final story comes from Entitled People. Co-worker told HR I was being exclusive for not inviting her to my wedding.
It's a madness.
This was honestly one of the weirdest work things I've ever dealt with. There's a woman in my office I'm friendly with, but not close to. We've had small talk here and there, nothing deep. No lunches together, no real outside of work connection. She found out I was getting married and asked when the wedding was. Then she straight up asked if she was invited. I kind of laughed and said, "Oh no, it's really small, just close friends and family." I didn't think anything of it. She got quiet and a little cold after that. But I figured, okay, maybe awkward moment, whatever. Fast forward a few days later, I get a meeting invite from HR. Turns out she filed a complaint saying I was being exclusive and creating a hostile environment by leaving people out because I didn't invite her to my wedding that I'm paying for. That isn't even work related. So I had to sit in this HR meeting and explain that I'm not required to invite co-workers I barely know to my literal wedding, that it's a personal event, that it has nothing to do with work or who's in the office. HR honestly looked just as confused as I was. They basically said, "Yep, okay, thanks," and closed the case. But now she acts super passive aggressive towards me, like side eyes, little digs when I walk by, still bringing it up in these weird sarcastic comments like, "Some people are so inclusive these days." I can't believe she actually thought HR could, make me invite her? Some people really do think they're the main character.
But my issue is, when she's making these passive aggressive comments, why don't you, hey, you're not entitled to come to my wedding. What's your business? What's your problem?
Some people don't like confrontation.
But you like being passive aggressive though? Oh, you're talking about the OP. Okay.
Yeah. That woman is unhinged. But what I'm doing though is I'm also going to HR.
Yeah.
And I'm reporting her passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
You are making bullying. You're making the environment uncomfortable, hostile.
I'll tell you what, I bet she wears blue eyeshadow. Trust me.
No, but I'm like for like. I'm going to HR and I'm reporting her, and right. I'm gathering other people. Like, did you feel uncomfortable as well when she said that? Yeah, exactly. And I'm writing down. Yep, Kelly also agreed. Tom did. That's what I'm doing. That woman is unhinged.
Two can play that game.
Literally.
Yeah.
Top comment, I would report her to HR for creating an uncomfortable work environment.
Exactly.
Another one, definitely seems like the co-worker is heading towards hostile work environment territory, if not already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's actually creating the case.
Yeah.
For that to be...
It's a little D-head,
She
man.
needs help. She needs help.
She's unhinged.
She needs help.
She needs life outside of work because
Yeah.
honestly, how dare you feel so entitled to someone's wedding, but especially a colleague that's not even in your immediate team as well.
No, she's
You're
mad.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
She's
You're
mad.
absolutely crazy. I've never heard anything quite like it.
She's mental.
Yeah, it's mad. And on that note, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. If you've watched all the way to the end, you are our hero. Make sure you subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, and welcome to OP Said, where we read the most... Hi, I'm Mel, and welcome to OP Said, where we read the most wildest Reddit and submitted stories. Okay, I'll do that again. I could hear your ruffling by the way.
okay, sorry.
Okay. Hey, welcome to OP Said, where we read the most wildest Reddit and submitted stories. I'm Mel. My bad. Let me do that again. Okay.